Hi there, this is Lisa with Home Sweet North Carolina Garden. This is my favorite time of night here in the garden. Everything is becoming quiet, the sun is setting, it's that golden hour, and it just glistens on everything. And this particular time was my grandma's favorite time of night, and it's also my mom's favorite time of night now too. It just brings back all the memories, brings back just a flood of memories, good memories, and so I love to come out here in the garden during that time of night. So I thought I would take a walk with you through the garden. As you can see behind me, these are the peppers that we left. So we have our peppers that we planted first on this side that are towering over me, and then we have our guys here that were my succession planting row, and so we're gonna take a look at those and see how they're doing. So I am watering right now, but you can see these are the jalapenos, and there are just tons and tons on this plant, just coming along. I mean, I don't see them ever stopping. It's amazing. So there are some that are needing to be harvested, but for the most part, we've taken a break this weekend. Here's some green peppers, the purple bell pepper, this purple. I mean, everything is slowing down and the size of things are getting smaller, but for the most part, you know, we have some good sized fruit. Now, I did feed the eggplant and the peppers and the tomatoes that we have left. That was in a past video, but just feeding them that 20-20-20 water-soluble fertilizer has helped tremendously. Look at the size of those fruits, y'all. I mean, they took that food to heart. And we have plenty on here. She is putting off lots of fruit. And here's this guy. So when we come down the row here, when we come to this plant, the next plant, they are completely different, these fruits. So I'm wondering if I got my seeds mixed up and I planted a different variety. Now, I did rip all the green beans out. I left these. It's easier to pull them off a fence like this when they're dry. Plus, I can take the dried beans and save those beans for next year. Look at that guy. Ooh. We like those in our garden. These are all of our green zucchinis. I fed them as well. Some of them have some flowers, some of them do not, but obviously they're coming along. So we're going to spray these down, I think, maybe tonight, just to make sure that we get a harvest off of these. So see, you can see that we have some blooms here and some pests. But overall, they're very, very healthy. You can see a ton of blooms on this one. I don't see any female flowers yet. That's what you look for. The male flowers don't have the fruit behind them, so they usually just have like a little stalk like this, and then the flower. They usually tend to, I see those first before I see the actual female flowers. So this is a male flower again. Can't see the leaf, but I can see maybe this guy right down here, and that's a female flower. You can see that there's fruit behind it. Like I was saying, I took all of these out and decided just to pull them out by the root and then till up this area here for planting our fall harvest. Now I'm toying with the thought of taking down this fence completely, just rolling it back and having this area, because then once these summer squash are done, maybe this can be my fall winter area for planting. Now don't forget, we still have these sweeties that are on their way out. They are putting off some new shoots up here, new flowers, because obviously the heat and humidity has gone down significantly. These better boys and big boys are putting off fruit, and so I'm trying to keep some going. Now the Romas, same thing, putting on some new fruit. Now the fruit is significantly smaller than what we have seen in the past, but you can see they are blooming again. So I am actually going to save a couple of these plants, get rid of the sick ones, and just keep a couple of healthy ones, so that way they can produce throughout the fall, since we don't really get a cold streak here until late October. So this is really all we have left of the summer garden. It's so bare, so sad. There's old Rhoda. So we tilled up this area again. My dad helps with all of that because I don't know how to till. Gotta learn how to do that. That's such a pretty flower. But it tilled up this whole area, so we have this whole area for planting. We have the row of eggplants, and then we ripped out all of these tomatoes here that were in front of the peppers. So we have this whole area as well. My zinnias I had to save, so they're tied up to the poles. And then we have this area along the fence. This is where our winter squash was growing, and so if I want to, I can plant something here. So on our to-do list is a compost pile. So we have some pallets that are stacked up behind my garage, and we are going to put those together and make 2 compost bins. And those compost bins are going to go outside of the fence in the back, so that way I can easily get to it if I'm in the garden, but also it's out of the way. It's not taking up any garden space, but they're going to go over there where our pumpkins and watermelon were. So I have to have a place to put my dried up seeds, especially my Kentucky Wonders. So I guess my newly painted candle lantern that's right here by the garden is the little holder for now. I planted some early sweet corn and they all popped up, and so quickly. So I'm letting them just see what they can do, because it is not going to get cold here until, you know, October. And so we have at least 30 days. And here are my seedlings waiting to go. So I've got the Waltham broccoli. This is a heirloom variety. These need to go in the ground and be thinned. I've got Brussels sprouts, and I did reseed and they are popping up. So the little seedlings, as you can see, like right there. But these need to go in the ground so that we can get some Brussels sprouts. And the the cauliflower did not do too hot, so I am actually waiting for some more cauliflower seeds. Something ate it, and I'm not even sure what it would be. I didn't see anything on it, but I'm just gonna replant it and see what happens. What you doing there? Is that your teepee? You gonna weed for me? Thank you. You know how I love you weeding for me. I didn't know this was going to be your teepee. So I am about ready to harvest these gourds that we were growing here on the fence line, because they are dying back. And you can see, like this one, he's getting brown, the brown stem. So we're going to harvest these, let them dry out, and see if we can make some birdhouses out of them. So I am all done with this garden bed, which had the well, I was using it as an experiment, growing tomatoes in it and then transplanting those tomatoes into our big garden, except then we ran out of room and I had a huge box of tomatoes. So I have cleaned out this box. There's just one tomato plant left that the gourd is growing on, but I am thinking about emptying this box and moving it elsewhere, and then in this back corner right by the garden, I'm going to make this like a pollinator garden and put milkweed and flowers that all the hummingbirds and, you know, bumblebees like, and maybe even instead of like, you know, regular bushes or like a bush, I'll put like a blueberry bush, things like that. So that's on my to-do list for the fall, when it gets a little cooler out, because it's still hot out here for me. So these are our Oregon sweet snap peas, and I planted the 2 rows of them here in this box with the trellis, and so they're doing really, really well. They've got their climbing tentacles out, and so they're ready to go, and so we can't wait to harvest these. These were one of our favorites here in the spring, and now we'll have these at least until a hard frost. Look, my chase tree is blooming in. The bumblebees and the hummingbirds and the butterflies, they love this tree. And so I have one bloom here, but there's a bunch that are getting ready to bloom here in a couple days. So, yay! So back here along the fence we have some cucumbers I planted. These are a garden bush variety, and so I'm excited that we may have a second wave of some cucumbers. Now, the bush variety, they still need a little bit of trellising. That's why I put them here by the back fence, and at least I can tie them up. But they won't climb like a regular trellising cucumber will. So I'm excited that they'll stay small and compact, but I still needed something to tie them to. I almost forgot to share our banana trees. So a friend of ours offered us some banana trees and we took them. So we have 3 banana trees that we need to plant. So I took the suckers from some delicious tomato plants and I stuck them here in this vase, and they're putting off flowers. So I'm waiting for them to get rooted, and I'm hoping that I can grow some more healthy plants. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me tonight. Until next time. And if you like our channel, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Maybe even share it with some of your friends. We would really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much.